Good afternoon, everybody. We have a brand new Coast Life coming your way. I'm Charlie Sokaitis, again joined by Rachel Parker of Parker Group. Rachel, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great, with the exception of this first story that we're going to start about, because how do you feel about snakes?
Let's just say that when I go to the zoo with my family, there's a section that I avoid, and my kids make fun of me.
That whole section you're just out on?
Yes, and it's this one.
So I don't mean to make it a creepy crawly beginning to our show, but I feel like this is stuff that people need to know about, especially on the Maryland side of things. We reported this on the news yesterday.
Okay.
We're going to Coast Life today, and here's what we know. According to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, copperheads are one of just 2 venomous snakes in Maryland, and you're seeing more of them this time of year. They can grow to be 3 feet long, which is way too long. That's way too much snake.
No snake needs to be that big.
No. They can be found in forests, fields, swamps, dry sandy ridges. They've got kind of like this shovel head look to the top of them. I'm sure we'll have some video or a picture up of them. So yeah, you just got to be careful, because they can be they are poisonous. They're not usually venomous enough to kill you, but you're not going to have a good day if you get bit by a copperhead.
No, and you could die of fright. So
you may die just seeing it scuttle across the yard or something.
Absolutely. Are you afraid of snakes?
Not a fan. Not a fan of snakes. Not a fan of spiders. I don't like the creepy crawly stuff. The only advantage of living in Alaska for a long time was any of the terrible things that can kill you, you can see from very far away.
They're very big.
Large.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not going to like sneak up on you.
Very true. Yeah, grizzly is not quite as stealthy as a snake.
Grizzly, polar bear, moose, those things are very prominent.
That is a benefit. You're right.
All right, well, let's move on to our first talker, and I want to get your opinion. We're talking TV now, and not just the show you're watching here with us, but the shows that people like to binge. I'm going to get into part of why we're talking about it in a minute, but I wanted to start with you, Rachel. Do you have a couple favorite to binge shows?
This is kind of embarrassing, because I do have a show that I love to binge, but I bet I'm the only person that feels this way, which is Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury.
Oh my God, that's the best.
You like it?
Oh, first of all, Murder, She Wrote was incredible.
Well, thank you. There are many seasons. A lot of them are on Prime right now. So
that's where you're watching it? You can get to it on Prime?
Yes, and no one in my house likes it. So it's like my guilty pleasure if I'm home alone doing laundry. Yeah, little Angela Lansbury solving crime in Cabot Cove.
Now, I will admit, it's been a while since I've seen a Murder, She Wrote, and I wasn't even sure where to find them. I'm glad you clued us in.
Now you know.
But the show's fantastic.
Thank you.
Angela Lansbury, incredible all the time.
Yes.
Although one of the things I will note about both Murder, She Wrote with Lansbury and even like the Golden Girls, the age they are at when they're like depicting themselves being old, they're not actually that old.
That's very true. Yeah, it's just like mid-60s. Yes.
Well, in that, but in like the Golden Girls, there's scenes where they're like in their late 40s and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the hairstyle that makes it seem.
It must be, or maybe how young we were when we were watching that.
Yes, that too. I mean,
it's all relative.
That part might be true too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about binging shows.
Okay.
Because psychologists say a binge watch of your favorite show can actually be good for you. It helps you get really into the story, which makes it easy to remember. It's more satisfying. It can also help you, and I think that this makes a lot of sense for the way you were talking about it. Makes you relax, take a break from stress. Just make sure it doesn't take over your life, but everything else is pretty good.
That actually makes sense, yeah. I mean, the more you're immersed in the story, the more you really do get a chance just to mentally escape from your day. So, I mean, that makes sense to me.
I think it's great too. Some of these shows you can go one of 2 ways. You can either like binge it and be on your phone and like half paying attention, or you can put the phone down and be locked in.
Right.
I know I like to do that. I've got a couple I liked. I like Big Bang Theory. I like New Girl. And this year I actually got into the whole Doctor Who thing, which is like 10s and 11s of seasons long.
Yeah.
So that was just nice to not have to think about what to find on the clicker.
Absolutely, yeah. And Doctor Who seems like a really popular one. That's one I haven't dove into. Big Bang Theory is classic, though. I mean, you can't help but love that show.
I've probably seen the whole thing like 3 times at this point. So.
But those are the best ones when you can rewatch them and it's just as much fun as the first time.
I'm also not jealous of people that are having to go in the dating world right now.
No.
There seems to be a lot of terribleness out there, but this specific trend I want your take on. It's called Date 'em Till You Hate 'em, and I think you could tell where this is going, ladies and gentlemen. It's a toxic dating trend going viral on TikTok. You date 'em till you hate 'em. The idea, coined by creator Meg Neal, is simple. Stay with your partner long enough for little annoyances to build up until affection fades into resentment, making the breakup feel easier.
Oh, man.
What say you?
I say that's brutal. I can't imagine. That's so cruel just to pull someone along until it feels easier for you to say goodbye.
Yeah, if you know, like, this isn't where it's going, maybe just have that conversation, be more upfront.
Right. And also it could backfire. I mean, you're assuming that it's just going to get easier, but really for most people, I think the longer you're with someone, even if they do annoy you, you kind of get attached a little bit.
You get attached.
Stuff gets attached. You might be leaving a toothbrush there that you got to go pick up later. I mean, there are just
That's
a lot of reasons.
That's always the least fun part of a breakup is collecting each other's things from each other's places. You're like, you're not going to be there at noon, right? I can go.
Can't go get that hoodie.
Yeah. Well, the hoodies disappear quickly.
As a man, you're saying that.
Yeah, those, suddenly you're like, did I ever have a sweatshirt?
Right.
What is going on
I'm
here?
so cold.
But I think it is just one of those things where people don't want to be alone, but they're pretty convinced they're not with the right person.
Right.
And they're just trying to get to a place where it's not a big messy blow up, maybe?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of ghosting, where you just like hope that at some point you can avoid the conflict and just let it fade away. But I think it's really probably the cruelest way you could handle it.
It also seems a little bit like you're trying to put the onus of the breakup on the other person. Like you're trying to just be like, this relationship is fine, but as it dwindles, you're just kind of hoping they'll pull the trigger so that you don't have to feel like the bad guy.
Yeah, like maybe if I disengage enough, they'll get the hint and they'll just say goodbye.
Which, by the way, dangerous game to play, women, because we don't always get the hint. We're just like, I don't know, I guess this is just how it is.
Yeah, right. This is what a relationship is.
Seems fine. And then she's just like, he hasn't taken the bait yet? I don't understand. He's like, I didn't know anything was wrong at all.
He's just thrilled because he can play video games and watch the football game with
no
interruptions.
She didn't mind that I was hanging out with my buddies for like 3 straight days.
Great.
It's great. I thought I had found the one.
Right. Oh, no.
So anyway, we would love to get your opinions on this, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about date them till you hate them, good, bad, indifferent, or is it just maybe the state of things today? All right, we're going to take a break. We've got a few more things coming up for you. We're one day closer to the prostate walk that's coming up this weekend. We're going to be having another chat about why it's important and how you can get involved.
And then don't miss me and Charlie debating whether calling or texting is best. And we want to know what you think, too.
Definitely want to know what you think. Plus, we're going to have the dish of the week. You can never miss that. Chef Zeus always has something on point, ready to eat, making everybody smile. Stick around. More Coast Life next.
Coast Life is sponsored by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
For months now, we have been prepping everybody here on Delmarva for the big prostate cancer walk that's coming up this weekend, and we're going to keep doing that today. We actually have a cancer survivor, prostate cancer survivor, Vinnie Mattamira. And Vinnie, I hope I got that name close enough there. Thank you for joining us on the couch, first of all, Vinnie, and we want to learn a little bit about your story. One of the things that Paul has been telling us, Paul Williams, every time he comes on is one of the symptoms of prostate cancer is really that there are no symptoms. So how did you find out that you had prostate cancer?
Well, fortunately, I've been going for my regular physicals. And was watching my PSA score gradually go up over the years. And as it approached 4.0, which is the magic number to start to see a urologist, it hit 3.8, I guess in June of 21. And I started to get after it then. And I followed up with a urologist and had a number of tests, and they found an intermediate grade cancer. Fortunately, we caught it early. And catching it early is important because it's contained. It gives you the most options for treatment, and it gives you the best possible outcome.
What is, even catching it early, what are those early days like when somebody tells you you have cancer?
It's a bit of a gut check, to be honest. I mean, prostate cancer is the most diagnosed cancer in men, 1 in 6. If you're a person of color, 1 in 8, and if you're a person of color, it moves to 1 in 6. So, it's a bit of a gut check, but I followed the process, and with the help of the urologist and the oncologist, they led me to the best, what I thought was the best, outcome or best care that they could give. And Fortunately, so far it's worked out well. I just had my 2-year PSA, and the score is right where they want to see it. So,
congratulations.
All good so far. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's a great, thank you for sharing that story, because I think men in particular sometimes kind of put off their doctor's appointments, and that's a really good testament to the importance of following up with your regular care.
One of the things I found is I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve, and I was talking to my friends about it, and I was shocked at how many people came to me one-on-one and said, I have it, but don't tell anybody. Oh. We're in a watch and wait, or I've had it removed, or I've had radiation. And nobody wants to talk about it. And it's important that it does get spoken about. Absolutely. I'll be honest, years ago I worked for a manager, and he had gotten ill and was going to take a 6-week leave and didn't tell anybody why. And kind of through the grapevine we found out that it was prostate cancer. And he had his removed, and that's a 6-week recovery. And it kind of got me thinking, I was still in my 40s at the time, that it is important, and he emphasized go for your regular physicals. And that's the important thing, is go for your physicals, understand your blood work, understand what the numbers mean, and talk to your doctor about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we talk about kind of raising awareness, that's what this whole walk coming up this weekend is about. So I see you've got the shirt on, you're ready to go. What does it mean to you to get a chance to kind of get out there and help spread this message? Because again, as you just mentioned, I think so many guys are reticent to either go get help or even admit that they're feeling sick or need help in some kind of way.
It's important, and I'm a big believer in doing the right thing, and karma comes back to you. And it's important for me to share my story because hopefully it'll help somebody else. And honestly, it has already, just, talking to my friends. So, anything that I can do to help people avoid a bigger issue. I mean, with cancer, any cancer, I think the most important thing is containment. Mm-hmm. Get it early, get it while it's contained, when they can deal with it best.
Well, speaking of containment, I think I understand that at the event there will be some testing opportunities as well. Yeah,
BB Healthcare is going to be there with their community mobile health clinic, and they are going to be giving free PSA tests to anybody that wants one. And if you haven't been going for your regular physicals, I can't stress enough, take advantage of this opportunity, because it could really save you down the road.
Yeah, and that's what we are talking about here. This is life-saving care. Paul has mentioned it a million times on here. You're backing him up here in terms of if it's caught early, you can survive this. There's no reason that people shouldn't be trying to catch this early.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I really appreciate you sharing your story here, Vinnie, and I just want to tell you how appreciative we are, because I think, as you've mentioned, you just got to get over whatever that sometimes machismo that can get in the way of making the right decision for your own health is. It just doesn't seem worth it.
Absolutely.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are going to take a break. Thank you so much. Remember, that cancer walk is coming up on Saturday, so get out there. If you're somebody that's looking to get tested, they have a chance for you to get tested for free on site. Plus, maybe get a burger or a hot dog or something.
Not a bad deal.
Never terrible. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We always love a good health topic here on Coast Life. We have another great one to fill you in on today. We're going to be chatting about the National Kidney Foundation, but I don't know anything about the National Kidney Foundation. To do that, we have to bring in our special guests. They know everything that we need to talk about here. We have Nicole Scharf and Will Childers. Now, Nicole, you are a senior program director for this foundation.
Correct.
I want to start with you, then we're going to move to Will. What is the National Kidney Foundation and why is it important?
Yeah. So the National Kidney Foundation is a nonprofit healthcare organization, and our main goal is to stop kidney disease in simple terms, to slow the progression of. There are about 37 million people across the U.S. that suffer from kidney disease. It's about 1 in 7 people have kidney disease, and 90% of them don't know it. So our goal is to wipe out kidney disease and also make all organs available for transplant if someone wishes to do so.
Now let's move over to Will. And Will, you are a dialysis patient, from what I understand. So how has this group and how have the different treatments you've gone through bettered your life?
Well, Actually, I'm healthier now. Probably 3 years ago, I didn't quite know what was wrong with me, but I blew up in size. Later, I found on the net that that's fluid being held on the body because the kidney isn't processing the way it should be. I actually was told before that my kidneys were failing, but my function was still going on a little bit, or my kidneys were still functioning some, so I didn't need to start dialysis yet. But I didn't know how bad I was feeling for 6 months. And then finally gave in to the doctor. I was like, okay, I'll go. And I started dialysis, and immediately understanding that it's not a cure, but it does clear the bloodstream, and you just feel 100% better. But it takes a while. Since then, I get processed with the dialysis 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm there at 6 a.m., getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get there. It's a lifestyle. And then my challenge was, okay, well, you need to get on the donor list, right, to get a kidney. Found out I had to lose about 60 pounds. So I'm down around 250 now, but there's so many other positive things that have come along with it, to be honest with you. I actually used to take 3 blood pressure pills. I'm down to 0. I don't even take blood pressure pills anymore. I've had diabetes for, 10 to 15 years. My diabetes is completely under control. So losing that weight, eating better, and some of the things that I've learned through having dialysis and a nutritionist every day and have helped me with overall wellness.
Like Will said, it's a complete lifestyle change. You know, kidney disease is the 8th leading cause of death. It's ahead of breast cancer and prostate cancer. So it's a huge issue, and finding a way to get through dialysis, because that takes a mental toll along with the physical toll,
right.
And getting to the point where if you're a candidate for transplant and being listed, best case scenario is to start to look for a living donor.
Well, because we want everybody to have the best case scenarios out there, and because all of these things need research and money and things like that, there's a big event coming up.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, so that if maybe the folks at home want to have a way to give back, or
Absolutely.
if they've got somebody in their family that's going through this and they just want to be involved, what is that event?
Yeah, so we are hosting our Kidney Walk. It's an annual event that we host at Cape Henlopen State Park every year. It is September 21st, which is a Sunday. We do it on a Sunday so that that's the only day that folks don't do dialysis in the center, so that they can come and participate. Yeah. It's a great event. Our presenting sponsor is Homewell Cares, which is Will's company. And it's interesting, people ask all the time, where does our money go when we give? And as a nonprofit, you want to be able to answer that and say, it goes to support the local community, and it does. Will's company did a program that coincides with the Kidney Walk, where they packed care packages for every single dialysis patient in Sussex County, which includes activity books and recipes and a water bottle and gloves because their hands get cold. Things very thoughtful things that go into the packages. So the Kidney Walk helps with things like that. And then it also can help people with nutritional supplements if they qualify. It can help with rent relief. Groceries is a big one, medical supplies. So all of the money that we raise at the Kidney Walk, which is a fun, community-friendly event, goes to support local dialysis patients in Delaware.
And Will, it seems pretty clear why you would want your company to be involved in this, but kind of take us through the process of when you decided we're going to be a part of this whole thing. We want to make a difference.
Well, like I said, after I actually started dialysis and found out about the community, honestly did my annual budget for the year with donations, and I was like, okay, this is the one I want to be involved in. I had my marketing person reach out to Nicole, and then she told us about the care packages the first year, but that was like in January, and National Kidney Month was right there. So the first thing we did was we were actually a platinum sponsor for the Kidney Walk last year, which involved a donation as well as we raised money. And we had a pretty nice sponsorship, a good group. And honestly, it's just understanding that not everybody has all the means.
Well, thank you guys so much. I hope everybody gets a chance to get out and be a part of this. We are going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We have more Coast Life after this. All show long, we have had the pleasure of having Rachel Parker from Parker Group joining us here on the couch. We do really appreciate every time you stop in, Rachel, but I wanted to get you a chance to talk about something you guys have coming up for aspiring entrepreneurs, people trying to get out there and make something of themselves.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited about this. We're calling it From Roots to Rocket, which I'll get into briefly, but essentially this is kind of the event that I wish existed when Dustin and I were starting a business. There are just all of these questions that come at you when you're doing this that people kind of assume you should know, but you have no idea. So should you file as an LLC or an S Corp? How do you set up a marketing plan when you've never marketed anything before, but now all of a sudden you're an entrepreneur and you need to have social media, and you need to have print advertising and all of these things. And so really the purpose of this event is just to give people a practical toolkit that they can walk away with and feel a lot more confident stepping out into starting their dream business.
Well, and I think that's really important because one of the things that people take, I think, maybe for granted is you can have a great business idea, or maybe you've got a lot of expertise in this area. That doesn't mean you understand the whole playing field, and you got to wear a lot of hats when you're going to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely, absolutely. And honestly, a lot of it, I think, starts with mindset. And so that's why we're calling it From Roots to Rocket. Might sound a little bit funny, but it's because of who's participating in this. So to us, the roots, and it's always been at the heart of our mission at the Parker Group, is community. And so Madeline Wright, who is a local trauma-informed care educator, is coming in to talk about, first of all, how our experiences as humans impact us in interacting with others, but then also talking about the importance of community connection and feeling firmly grounded and networked into a community to tap into. And then we're going to be talking at the Parker Group about the fuel for the rocket, which is marketing. And so just a basic, easy, no jargon, 101 marketing class. And then the rocketing part is John Malora, who is actually a former rocket scientist turned
just a little side gig, former rocket
casually,
scientist.
Yes. And now he's an elite performance coach. And so he's going to talk about beating things like imposter syndrome, perfectionism, fear, and really having the right mindset to launch.
Well, how could somebody, if they want to look up any information about this, if they want to get involved, how do they do that?
Yes, we would love to. Any questions, please feel free to reach out. But the event is on Eventbrite, and if you have trouble finding it, you can search Roots to Rocket on there. It's going to be on Thursday, September 25th, right at the Parker Group offices in Georgetown. It's also posted on my Facebook page, so Rachel Parker. You can find it on Madeline Wright, John Malora, or the Parker Group. So we tried to spread it as wide as we could.
Think it's a great idea. Sounds like something that'll be really good, especially for people trying to get their foot in the door on that next big thing they want to undertake.
Absolutely, and share those services with the community. I mean, those people are people that are visionary and are doing great things on Delmarva. We want to help them. Well,
now let's transition to our next talker of the day, and this is, I think, a different world than you or I grew up in.
Yes.
It is, things have started to change here, and it's all about AI in the classrooms. And listen to these stats because they're pretty stark. 1 in 5 students readily admit they've used AI in ways they consider outright cheating on assessments and assignments. An additional 25% operate in that gray area. Only 20% avoid AI entirely. And a large majority of both the public schools and private schools see this as a pressing issue. So how much different does this feel to you than, say, when I went to the school? Like, we had the internet and you could, that was useful, but it wasn't like you could type in I'm reading Chaucer. Could you write me a 25-page this and make it sound like this level? There's just so much to deal with.
There is, yeah. And it really is a game changer. And I think what's important, in my opinion, to remember is not only is education changing, but the professional skills that our students need are changing too. And so being able to write a 5-paragraph essay might not be quite as important of a skill as much as the critical thinking behind the essay, how you structure it. And so I don't know if this resonates with you, but I always laugh when people put up these memes on Facebook where it's like, my math teacher told me, what do you think, you're going to have a calculator in your pocket all the time? Yep. And then whip out their iPhone and I've got the most powerful calculator in the whole world. I think educators, unfortunately, are probably going to have to adjust to say, maybe sending kids home to do an assignment is not the best use of time. Maybe it should be more like a workshop in class where we work things through together.
I think that what we're going to start to see, and I could be wrong about this, but this is just based off all the stuff I follow, is you're going to start to see a little bit of both. I think you were going to start to see a real rise in the old blue books coming back into classrooms, having to write it out, which is a real bummer for people like me who just have the worst handwriting in America. But I think that they're going to have to start doing some of that, or even like oral presentations where you have to stand up in front of the class, so that even if you used AI to derive some of the information, you've got to be able to go stand up and prove you have a mastery of the context of what's going on, because I don't know how else we're going to effectively test people anymore.
It's a moving target for sure. Absolutely.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this one. We're going to take a break here. You're going to really like joining us on the next part. We've got food coming up, and that's not all. We've got more Coast Life heading your way. If you're a big fan of our morning newscast, you know the team. We've got Elisa, we've got Matt, and now we've got Mr. Chris Mastrobouno. Chris, first of all, congratulations. You're now Monday through Friday on that morning show.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was a pleasant surprise. You know, the news came to me probably late July. You know, Paul and John made me aware of it. Had to kind of keep it kind of under wraps for a little while there until all the proper channels were reached. But yeah, it's I'm happy to join the morning team. It was my last year in Indiana. It was kind of my full-time role with the morning. So it's a different animal. You know, people know that have been in the business. For me, it's a change because of you know, you gotta have to change your eating habits when you go to bed. And as a sports fan, you know, a lot of the games are at night. Yeah. So
there's a lot of recording of games and watching them the next day. So let me ask you about that morning part, because I've done the morning schedule too. What was the first week? Were you just getting your body used to it, a little tired until you kind of got settled in on when to be in bed?
Yeah, you know, you try to. I mean, I know some people try to go to bed like 5, 6. I can't go to bed that early. I mean, I try to go to bed at like 7:30, maybe catch an inning or two of the Phillies game and then go to bed. But yeah, I mean, some nights, I mean, I think it's more of kind of like an anxious thing. You know, you set like 2 alarms, set 2 or 3 alarms, and then the first night, I think it felt like I didn't sleep. I think I just shut my eyes, and then I woke up, and then
it's just
kind of running
boom,
on. You're kind of running on adrenaline. But yeah, you know, the weather kind of dictates a lot of things too, how you prepare and how you go about your mornings. But you know, like we were talking, you know, you get off schedule a little bit. It's like, you know, everything's got to be, you know, you have to hit everything on a certain time. You have to prepare a certain way, and you get derailed a little bit, and it kind of throws everything off.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the weather, because it's a 2-hour newscast, but you're on a bunch of times in that 2 hours. How do you do both the delivering of the news while also keeping up with anything that might change? Because over 2 hours, things can start to change in weather.
Yeah, that's typically that's when we're hitting you know, our low temperatures for the morning for the most days. That's kind of on average. But you know, it's kind of like a flowing thing. You kind of look ahead a little bit, how the week's going to go. You know, if the week kind of starts off a little slow, you know, a little calm, and then you say, oh, you know, we might have a threat of severe weather, say Thursday. You kind of have it in the back of your head that, you know, Thursday may be kind of a hairy day
to watch.
Yeah, so that's kind of the way I look at it. I'm always kind of looking ahead. You know, this week's relatively calm. You know, we have a coastal storm that's kind of given us some light showers, but nothing all that significant. But you know, as far as like how I prepare the morning show, I mean, there's a lot of hits, so I kind of try to mix it up, try to be different, but deliver the same message at the same time. Make
sure it's all accurate, but you try to have a little fun, engage with the people at home. Now, we haven't gotten to this point of the year with you as the main morning weather guy yet, but no better time than once winter kind of gets in full swing for are there going to be school cancellations today? Because that is the number one thing as I was a kid, was turning on the TV on those mornings when maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have to go to school.
And and winter is I love the snow. I love snowstorms, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. Hopefully maybe we'll see a nor'easter or 2 this year. But you know, we had a lot of snow last year for this part of the area. But yeah, I mean, now it seems like they close the schools. It seems like before even
a little early,
before a flake even flies. That's, you know, obviously we don't make the decision on whether to close school or not, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the winter season and seeing what kind of snow kind of what
Kinda
Mother
here we
Nature
go.
brings to the Delmarva.
Well, Chris, we're excited to see your work on that newscast. You always do a great job. You bring great energy to Coast TV, so we just can't wait to see what you do there.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Thank you. We're going to take a break. We have more Coast Life coming up. You will not want to miss what is still left in the show. You know, I'm used to doing this with Leah on the couch. I've got our guest host, Rachel Parker, here. And Rachel, here's how we do this. It's time for a great debate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a real thing we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, today it's an age-old question, one that people debate left and right. We're talking about how you use your phones and which would you rather? Are you more of a, I want to get somebody on the phone, talk to them person, or is the texting the preference? And I start with you, Rachel. What say you? What do you like for the most part?
For the most part, unless if it's an emotional conversation, something where you need nuance, I'm definitely a texter. And I'll tell you, I think the main reason why, you know how they say like pregnancy brain and mom brain? I'm just at a point in my life where I need things written down or else I'm going to forget about them.
Yeah, I like that you have it. You can go back to it. I think texting is probably my preference unless it's anything complicated.
Agreed.
Once you start having to like go back and forth about, no, it's a, but then I want to get you on the phone because I can probably just explain it a little bit easier.
For sure. If it's complicated, then it just gets more unwieldy. And also you want to be able to read like tone and nuance and all of that. I think here might be even a more hot button issue though. How do you feel about group texts?
Group text, I love group text when everybody that's on the group text is ready for the group text, but there's nothing worse than when you're on this big text chain with 10 other of your friends, or maybe it's your fantasy football group text or something, but you're doing something important and your phone is just bzz, bzz, bzz,
Yes.
bzz, and that gets real annoying.
100%. And for me, it causes me tremendous anxiety when I pick up my phone and I have 43 missed text messages, and I'm like, oh man, now it feels like homework.
Are you I hate having the red numbers on my phone person? Like, are you a get rid of all your emails, all your texts, like have them read through?
Yes, 100%. I have friends that have 600 unread text messages and I can't even really look at their phones without feeling anxiety.
Now, I will always catch up on my text messages, but my email situation is a disaster. Like, it would make you sweat if you're one of those people because it's like thousands of emails.
It makes me feel anxious just thinking about it. So, noted, don't email Charlie.
Yeah, don't email me because I've already got a million spam emails in there. Text me, though, is a great option. And I think, for the most part on the same page as you.
Yeah.
That's where I'd rather be on the text side of things for anything short of complicated or emotional, I think, as you were pointing out.
Totally agree. And one of my favorite things about texting now, I'm not sure if you have an iPhone, the send later option. Have you used this before?
I have not used this yet.
So it's incredible because a lot of times what happens to me at least is it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm thinking, oh, I need to text somebody about some work thing tomorrow. You can't text a coworker at 10 o'clock at night, but I can draft that whole text, hit that little plus button, and then have it send at 9 a.m. the next morning. It's off of my mental plate, but it's like done. I love that.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is an example of somebody that is far more organized than I am, because that is thinking ahead. That is, I'm going to make sure this is set to go. I like it. I think that is aspirational for me in the future. We will see if I can get on that same page. But thank you for the debate.
Well,
it was a good back and forth. We want to know what you folks at home have to say about this one, though. So we're going to put it up on Facebook. Let us know, are you more of a get that person on the phone kind of guy? Or would you rather just a text? Or is it that this meeting could have been an email? You know, let us know how you feel about it. We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We are going to get into some good eats after this with our dish of the week.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Benvenuto.
We have something special today because, Rachel, you've not been through one of these before, and I know, you never know what we're going to talk about or who we're going to talk when you guest host. Today you get to do a little eating because we have Chef Zeus from Benvenuto here with one heck of a dish. Chef, what am I looking at? Because I know what I smell, and it smells delicious.
Oh my gosh.
So what we're looking at is the Coastlife Dish of the Week. All right. So, we tell folks, hey, if you come in and you mention this dish, your server, it's 10% off. All right. So what we have is a beautiful salad, all right, with some mixed greens. There's an amazing dressing in there. It's soy and wasabi. You'll love it. All right. The salmon has been prepared with a little Calabrian chili paste, all right, that we make in-house. And then there's a sweet chili glaze that's on top. And these little things are fried garlic that we do in-house, all right? Yep, so there's some honey chili peanuts in there, some veggies, a little bit of our spicy aioli on the side, and just some fried noodles so you can pick one and have fun while you're eating.
So you said sweet. Is it sweeter than spicy? What are we dealing with here?
You know what? I think it's perfectly balanced. It is. So it has just the right amount of sweetness and the right amount
and
of
a little
heat.
kick.
Yeah, I don't think it's too spicy, and I can't really handle spicy food.
Oh, see,
and it's not spicy for me.
I'm going to like it either way because I like spicy. But I just always like the mix is always interesting to me because everybody has a different kind of target they're looking to hit there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, as cooks, that's what we do. We kind of, we try to, cook for our audience, right? Rather than cooking for ourselves. But it's here for you guys today and for anyone who wants to come out and try it this week. So.
Well, we're gonna dig into it right now. I'm gonna set you up for a question, so that then we can begin.
Absolutely.
Because you've got a couple different things coming up over there at Benvenuto, and I think everybody at home is gonna really be excited about it. First, you've got some guests coming in, some celebrity guests, if you will. One local, one from up towards the regional Philly area.
Yeah.
So
from my neck of the hood.
So tell me a little bit about those as we start to get into this. Rachel, you and I can dig right in.
All
right, let's do it.
So we have this Celebrity Chef Week coming up, and what we're going to be doing is on Wednesday, September 24th. This guy's everybody's friend, Drew Tevis. You guys know Drew Tevis.
Yeah, true.
Amazing pastry chef, and he's going to be coming in and doing a demo for our dessert club. So we have different clubs. We have a dessert club, we have a wine club, a bourbon spirits club. So he's going to come in on September 24th, that Wednesday, and just show our guests just how to make some of these amazing desserts. And that's something we're really looking forward to. He's just a wonderful guy. And then that Friday, September 26th, my good friend Gino Vento, all right, coming down from Philadelphia, he's going to be coming down that Friday, and he's going to be cranking out cheesesteaks. Wow. So, make your reservations for these things,
By the way, I had my first bite. It's tremendous, and you were right about that mix. It is right where you want it, the sweet, the spicy. I really think it's incredible. Yeah. Rachel, you just had a bite. Give me your take real quick, and then we'll move on to the next question here.
Absolutely delicious. It's so flavorful. Anyone that has a chance to get into Benvenuto while this is on the menu, make sure you do it. Honestly, fantastic.
Thank
really
you.
Well
Thank you very much.
That's not the only event coming up, right?
I was going to say, not the only event. This is actually the one that I know that my wife will be the most excited about. A murder mystery situation there at Benvenuto.
Yes. So we've done several of these murder mystery dinners, and this one's going to be probably the best one because it's a masquerade, murder at the Masquerade Ball, right? So it's going to be October 24th, right before Halloween, so it's spooky season.
Perfect.
Right?
Get dressed up, have a lot of fun.
Exactly.
It's all like the kids stuff. Let the adults have some fun.
I mean, look, we may even do bobbing for apples. I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that night. So that's one that I'm really excited for because I'm a huge fan of Halloween. Nice. So
we're heading into fall. So if you've been eating at Benvenuto all summer, you're about to switch things up a little bit on the menu.
Yes.
So maybe if somebody's looking for a little change, they don't even have to go to a new restaurant. They can still come to you guys, get a great new taste. What do you guys look at once those seasons change?
So this new fall winter menu, we're looking to debut it on October 9th. All right, and there's some just amazing stuff on there. I mean, look, I'm putting a big brie on. All right, so we have this amazing brie that we do. We just encase it in beautiful puff pastry. It has a chutney that has walnuts, cranberries, pure maple syrup, served with crostini. Look, we have a dish that I can't wait to launch. It's called a chicken and croûte. All right, that we've never done before. And I've always wanted to run it, but I just, Anyway, that's going to be making an appearance again. The short ribs are coming back, a lot of cool stuff. So we're really excited for it.
Well, give us the pitch one more time on your dish of the week, the Coastlife dish of the week. When can they come get that 10% off? Because I got to tell you guys, This is delightful. You really got to get a shot at it. It tastes incredible.
Come in today for it. And no, wait, what's today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's
Tuesday.
Come in tomorrow.
Okay.
Come in tomorrow. All right,
wait,
so we're
one day.
Yes, because we're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, so just come in, and if you want this, just mention it to your server and say, hey, I saw this on Coastlife, I want it. And as long as they say Coastlife, it's 10% off.
Love that.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for coming in,
goodness. Thank you for
sharing
having
this
me.
today. Not only the taste, because the taste is off the charts, but also just the beauty of the way you set this thing up. It looks like food art. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a great meal, go to Benvenuto. They're gonna treat you right. They're gonna get you exactly what you wanna eat. That's something special. All right, we're gonna take a break. Don't go anywhere. There's more Coastlife after this.
Coastlife, it's time to send you on your way. Rachel, thank you so much for coming and filling in for us today.
Thanks for having me. Always so much fun.
It's always a pleasure having Rachel here. We really appreciate it. And then tomorrow, I know you can look forward to a ukulele player coming in. I know Charlie was very excited about it.
I think that might be his most excited one.
He was very excited. So you can catch all that tomorrow. But for now, he's off on his way getting ready for Coast TV News at 5. And we will see you tomorrow.